Hi guys, welcome to this week's YouTube challenge. This week we're going to be studying the PSST test. The PSST test is the test that you give to a sentence to see if it is a complete thought or not. To be complete, a sentence must tell us two things. We must know who the sentence is about, and then we also need to know what they did if it's an action sentence, or what they are if it's a describing sentence. So before we get started, I just want to make one thing clear. It doesn't matter how many words are in the sentence. A complete thought could have as little as 2 words. All it needs to know is that who and then the verb that tells me more about it. You could have a sentence that only has 2 words and it's still complete, or you could have a thought that had 100 words in it, but if it never gets to that verb, or if it doesn't tell you who it's about, then it's still considered an incomplete thought. So don't just count the words in a sentence and see something long and think complete, or see something short and think incomplete. So before we get started, I want to give you a few examples. So here's my sentence. This says, the students laughed. So if I'm going to do the PSST test, then I'll say, PSST, the students laughed. Now I need to ask myself, do I know who that sentence is about? I do. It's about the students. And then what do I know the students did? These students laughed. So that's an example of having the noun or the subject with the action verb. Let me give you a sentence if it's describing. So here's an example that says, Psst, the students are super smart. So who is that about? It's still about the students, but now instead of them doing an action verb, I'm describing them in my predicate. What do I know about them? I know they are super smart. So let's try this one. Psst. The angry bear with the sticky paw covered in gooey honey. Now, as a reader, I should be asking myself, what? What happened to that bear? I have this really long subject. Who is it about? It's about the bear. But do I know what happened to him? Did he get stung by bees? Does he have a full tummy? Does he have a tummy ache? I don't know, because it doesn't have that what that goes with my bear. Let's try this one. Psst. Ate 17 slices of pizza because she was super hungry. Now what should my reader be asking themselves? They should be saying, who? Who did it? Because it doesn't tell me who that sentence is about. Is it about Miss Qualls? Was she super hungry? Is it about Miss Burnholes? Was it me? Who's super hungry and eating all those pizzas? We don't know, because it's not a complete thought. So let's try one more. This sentence says, Psst, the emu with the jetpack zoomed past all the cars, stopped in traffic. Now, first thing I need to do is ask myself, who is that about? It's about the emu. Now, what did the emu do? He zoomed. Since I know the emu zoomed, I know that is a complete thought. So, I do have a super cute book to read to you guys today. It's pretty simple, but it's full of simple sentences that we're going to be able to pass to test with the PSST test. And we're going to decide if they're complete sentences or not. This is called the Thingamabob, and it's by Il Sung Na. Make sure you're really paying attention to how we do the PSST test, because when you come to class on Friday, your teachers are going to have some thoughts for you to check with the PSST test to see if they're complete thoughts or incomplete thoughts. So let's see what happens in this book. It says, one day he found a Thingamabob. So let's check it with the PSST test. Psst. He found the Thingamabob. Who's that about? He. And what did he do? Found. He found. So that is a complete sentence. Psst. He had no idea what the Thingamabob was or where it came from. So let's try that one. Psst. He had no idea. Who is it about? He. And what do we learn about him? Had no idea. So again, that is a complete thought. Psst. Sometimes it didn't do anything at all. What's that about? Do you see it? Yeah, it. And what do we learn about it? Didn't do anything. So is that a complete thought? It sure is. Sometimes it gave him a surprise. I like his face on this one when the umbrella pops open. The little elephant's never seen an umbrella before. It says, he asked his friends. We're asking the sloth. I'm not sure what that is. Here's a sheep and a rabbit. And it says, but they did not seem to know. He thought, maybe I can fly with it. Maybe not. Let's try this one. Psst. Maybe not. Do you know who that's about? Does it have a subject? Does it have an action? So is that a complete thought? That is not a complete thought. Psst. Maybe I can sail in it. Who is that about? The I. And what does he want to do? Can sail. So that is a complete sentence. Maybe not. Umbrellas are not for sailing. Maybe I can hide behind it. Maybe not. The umbrella is not covering up the elephant. What are you then? He cried. I can tell he's starting to get a little frustrated. Then big drops of rain started to fall. Let's try that one. Psst. Then big drops of rain started to fall. What's that about? Big drops of rain. What are they doing? They started to fall. So that is a complete sentence. He did not want to get wet. Who's that about? He. And what do we learn about him? Did not want. There's another complete sentence. He did not need to get wet. Oh, look, he's finally figuring out what an umbrella is for. Aw, and neither did his friends. So that is the end of our book. This was a very simple book for practicing simple sentences. I hope you learned a lot about the PSST test and you'll be ready to use it when you come to class on Friday.